Hey, this is Aaron, the Metal Theologian. And, yeah, I got a couple things to talk about tonight. Yeah, but first off, housekeeping shit. So we're listening to Domain and their album Sanctuary. And there's at least one other Domain, actually. There's another one I got recently at a record show, but, this is a band from, I want to say Connecticut, might be Massachusetts. 1987, I mean, look at that, it's all like private pressy and shit, which is exactly what gets my juices flowing, as you know, you've been watching the channel for a while. It's actually a full album, too, and there are two excellent mustaches in the excellent drawings of the band, but fundamentally, this is pretty straight-ahead metal, but with some kind of epic metal moves, and, you know, I can dig that. Whether it really lives up to that cover, I suppose, is open to question a little bit. But it's a nice record, you know, the stuff that's a little more on the party side isn't all fucking cornballed out, like the songs are still really listenable, and it's where they have like the synth and shit, like in the intro there's a lot of synth before I turned on the video, and, but it's not so over the top that it kind of, you know, turns your stomach or anything like that. I mean, it's probably less than like Valhalla from Pittsburgh, and, those guys go pretty heavy with it, but it still managed to sound pretty fucking epic. So, yeah, I've got to give a tip of the hat to Domain. And this is not the easiest record to come by. I might as well fess up to that, but, you know, I show a lot of those. But this has gone down in price a lot since a couple years ago. I think someone found a box of them or something. So, if you want to go down that path, I would kind of advise you to move faster rather than slower. Alright, so let me bust open the soda though, and then we're gonna get into the talk here. So, I have kind of an ordinary one here. It's a Grape Crush. Kind of a classic. Has real sugar, has no caffeine. And, who makes this thing? That'd be fucking prescriptions, so I can't read a fucking thing now. Actually, it's not that I can't read anything, it's that I can see better, and that's kind of weirding me out, so. It's a weird feeling, so. Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, you know, you're all familiar with Crush, I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure you even had this before, but I suppose Orange is the real classic shit, but I don't know, I like this grape stuff, and you know, a good grape soda really hits the spot once in a while. I really love that new grape shit, that's one of my favorites, believe it or not. This is really nice. Definitely has that artificial grape flavor. Has just a teeny bit more bite from the carbonation than I would expect in a soda of this caliber. That's a classic metal thing to do, those harmonics. Yeah, man, just a nice soda. If y'all watch Grown Man Record Night, those guys swear by grape soda with Chinese food. That's a combination I have yet to bust out. In fact, this was already in the fridge last time I had Chinese food. I got really full of the Chinese food. I found it in there. I was like, fuck! I missed my opportunity. God damn it, you know? But one of these days. So, I don't really talk a lot about subscribers and that sort of thing, because it's kind of not my style. But I do want to sort of put out a special welcome to a bunch of new subscribers that I got last week. Especially given sort of the story behind it. Okay, a lot of new faces I've seen in the comments section. Got a shitload of notifications late last week for, you know, new subscribers and that. And I really do appreciate it. Okay, everyone who's chimed in, I totally appreciate it. Even the one or two of you who are sort of like giving me the finger more or less. That's fine, man, you're good. As things turned out, I'm not going to talk about this in the title because I don't want to get overly clickbaity, but I sort of had a little bit of a brush with fame in the form of Anthony Fantano. I called into a radio show he was on, just sort of fucked around a little bit, but the guy was cool enough to sort of play along, and this was fundamentally a good guy, and it was last Friday, and the show, by the way, was Stupid Morning Bullshit, which I wasn't already familiar with, but I'm plugging it here because it was a really good show anyway, just a fun show to watch, and it's kind of bullshit. It's like public access is what it is. Like, when I talk about how good public access TV was in Austin circa 2000, it's this kind of shit that I was thinking of. And I used to call into those shows all the time, so I was hanging out with my kid. I was like, oh, you want me to call in? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, watch this, dude, no problem. So, Anyway, the next day we went up to Greenville from here in Charleston to see him speak. Spencer wanted to go. He's kind of a Fantano fan, which is a little surprising because he's not anywhere near as into the music, you know. But I guess he just sort of appreciates the other stuff he talks about as well as the music stuff. But, you know, he has another channel too where he talks about more sort of general topics, that sort of thing. And the guy's just a stand-up guy, man. Which is great. I mean, there's some other guys on here that I've kind of talked shit about before. Like that fucking Vinylized dude. I mean, that guy's a fucking wiener. You know what I mean? His whole channel comes off as just so contrived and like, you know, he even said he likes making videos and the records are just sort of something for him to make videos about. And I'm like, fuck you then, man. You're not a fucking record channel. You're an asshole. You're not even an asshole. But it's just a fucking joke. You know what I mean? This whole, like, these monetization games in play. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm not going to play along with that shit. But Fantano, man, first of all, he works his ass off. And second of all, he just seems to genuinely care about, like, the people who show up. Okay, I mean, I was the oldest person at this show by, like, 10 years, okay? But, dude, no shit. When we got there, about 10 minutes before the show time, he was standing over by the merch table, and literally every fucking punk kid who came in who wanted to sort of shake his hand, maybe take a picture, have him sign it, whatever, he was like, he wasn't just sitting there just like fucking doing it either. He was like giving him a couple minutes of his time, talking with him and shit. I've said to people like Oliver Sacks immediately comes to mind of all people, where I was at some signing or something, but he wasn't really even looking up. He was just like taking the books and signing them and all business. And Fantano was not doing that shit, man. He was like giving these kids attention, you know what I mean? The show itself, I mean, I don't know, you know, it wasn't so much my cup of tea, but again, about half of it was dedicated to a Q&A session, which was all just about him interacting with the audience, you know? And between that and the fact that he, like, really makes an effort to be journalistic in a way that I don't, you know? Mine's just all, like, opinion and attitude, but he actually tries to be, you know, opinionated, but with enough sort of distance that he's actually, like, assessing these things objectively, as opposed to just letting his, you know, prejudices run wild the way I do, you know? So yeah, I just got to give a tip of the hat, and the fact that he played along, I got a bunch of new subscribers, not like a fuckload, but several, and I even bought a goddamn shirt. Check that shit out. So, if Fantano sent you over, special welcome to you, and he's a stand-up guy. If you don't like his channel, that's fine. It's not really my cup of tea either, but I totally respect it. He's a good guy. I let him in my house. All good, you know? So, yeah. Alright, so let's talk about records for a couple minutes. That was such a weird experience tonight, because I totally, believe it or not, I wasn't expecting it. Maybe it was just naive or something, but I called in, I was like, hey, it's Aaron, the metal theologian, you know? That's just what I say when I'm, like, on, you know? And fucking, it sort of became a thing, you know? It's actually on one of his channels if you want to see it. Might as well send him the views too, right? Like, he can get, like, 20 views off me. Alright. So we talked about Domain a little bit. See, this is a little bit more of the sort of like the party type of moves that I was talking about, okay? Has a little bit of a Kiss vibe, kind of a punky hook to it, but just really listenable and really enjoyable. It's pretty much all Obscuros today. I'll just fucking tell you right out of the gate. I'm looking here, and I think the best known record that I'm getting ready to show here might be this one. Walpurgis Night by Stormwitch, the German band, okay? First of all, check out that classic cover right there. But this is just like classic German band. How about that band shot, man, with the two fucking skeletons on the end? Sort of a classic German band, kind of a classic mediocre German band, truth be told. I've known about Stormwitch for a long time. I've had their second record for a long time. And I cared enough with that when this reissue came out recently on High Roller that I jumped on it. But I didn't care enough to cough up for an original because, you know, they're not like, monumentally expensive, but they're more than I felt like paying, because I just don't like them that much. But for what this thing would set you back, it's a fun record, sounds German, like it scratches that German itch, and the songs are good, man. It's fucking amusing. On the subject of High Roller, here's the other one that I grabbed not too long ago. It's another German band. This is Tyrant. And this is probably a little bit more sort of priesty. I mean, look at that cover. You know, I mean, it doesn't sound like Priest, but it's probably more in that direction, a little bit less sort of full-on German sounding. But it's still German enough, believe me. And, you know, there's songs like Making Noise and Drinking Beer, which just sounds so fucking German, man. And, you know, Wanna Make Love, which is a little bit embarrassing, you know. But overall, man, fucking Tyrant, Invaders, We Stay Free, Grapes of Wrath. Lots of good songs on this one, man. And again, just good riffs, good songs. You know, this isn't like a mega classic, but it's a cool record, man. Very enjoyable. So, the other contender, actually, for the best-known record that I'm going to show tonight is this one. This is Arch, Another Return to Churchill. And I was actually told that this was their second album, but I've only seen this one, so I can't really opine on it. There's like a little moth flying around or something that keeps distracting me. So anyway, I'd seen this record a couple times and kind of going, it's 89, and they kind of look kind of fucking corny, and you know. Well, I was fucking wrong, okay, because this record is really good. It's not like 10 out of 10. You know, it's not the second coming of, well, Fate's Warning, let's say. But it's a really enjoyable record. It's epic enough that it kind of, you know, satisfies that, you know, urge a little bit, you know. It's not epic like, you know, again, like Fate's Warning or like Manila Road or something like that. But it has enough epic moves that you sort of go, you know, and you sort of get that from it in a way that's really cool, and in a way that you weren't hearing a whole lot of around 89. So, in a way, they actually get extra points for that, you know. Incidentally, a big part of why I gave this a chance is because of the Jesus metal thing that I kind of rediscovered lately. Because seeing how the Jesus stuff had peaked late, and I was finding these great records from like 91, 92, I was like, well shit, maybe in 89 isn't really that late after all. And sure enough, man, this record's awesome, you know. You know what changed in 89? I did. Because that's when I started listening to a lot of punk. I started listening to punk in like 87 or 88. But like in 89 was when I really sort of kicked into gear and backed away from metal. Actually, I'll be honest, man. I lived in Germany during the 80s for most of them. And in Germany, man, they're fucking serious about their metal, you know? Like fucking... The soft shit was like the early Crew, okay? You know, except, obviously, right, like Motorhead, Venom, Slayer, Metallica, obviously, you know, Anthrax and that kind of shit. You know, that was the bread and butter. So when I came back to the States, I was like, yeah, I'm into metal. And people were like, oh, yeah, I like metal, too, like Guns N' Roses. I was like, fuck you, man. Fuck Guns N' Roses and you fucking poser shit. Dude, because me and sort of the group of friends that I hung out with, man, we knew one guy who got into Guns N' Roses because, like, his family was kind of rich. So, they, like, had a satellite dish. They got MTV from the States. So, like, you know, he was getting, like, the Welcome to the Jungle video and all that shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, Guns N' Roses. And me and my friends, man, we fucking ripped on it. We were like, you and your fucking poser shit. Fucking Guns N' Roses. That's not even metal. So I came back when that was, like, the thing. I was like, man, I don't even want to talk about this with anyone for, like, a couple of years. That's pretty much what I did. So got back into metal in the big way then in the early 90s, but there's a little bit of a hole there when I was just listening to other stuff, pretty much exclusively. I suppose it's a little bit of lost time, but what can I say? Now I'm 45 and I still listen to this shit, so I think I've made up for it and we'll continue to make up for it. Traitor, Shot Down. It's an Erica Records thing. I don't know if that was really a real label as much as a pressing plant. There are a couple other things, like the Mistreater from, I think, LA. Not the one from Cleveland, but the other one. I missed it. Fuck. Yeah, anyway, well, look at these band shots. It's called Shot Down. It's an EP, it's got 5 tracks on it. This record, it really has... It's 85, and it has an American metal sound. Like, not like the party shit, but like a solid, like, US metal sound. But the hooks tend to be really sort of new wave British heavy metalish. Like, it's almost like the record was written in 1980 and performed in 1985, but it doesn't sound as belated as it would if that had actually been the case. I mean, for all I know, it actually was the case. I mean, I don't know a fucking thing about these guys, right? Fucking Brian James and John Gonzalez, you know. For all I know them. I just didn't know, make the connection, right? But all the songs on this thing are good, man. I mean, The Way It Used to Feel is the opening, and the second one is Have You Ever. Those are the 2 songs that you think would probably be likely to suck, but they don't. They're both great. And side 2, you got Feel the Steel, Traitor, and Shot Down. Of course, those are all going to be good, right? But it's just a solid record, man. Just really sort of enjoyable hooks that remind you of your new Wave 45s, and good shit. Alright, now I would needle drop that one, but we're going to needle drop the next one instead. Because the next one is one that is a little bit confusing to me. This next one, when I first heard it, I didn't think much of it. Then I listened to it again, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking, man? That thing is great. And then I listened to it again, and I was like, oh, okay, well, some of these songs are kind of... have some glam moves, and that's why I wasn't really digging it. But the playing on this is heavy, and it's not all glam, but even the glammy shit is good. You know, it's not Leather Nun, but it's better than like the early Pantera too. And I like those early Pantera records, don't get me wrong. I like the first 4 more than anything they did after that. Alright, this is Hammerhead. They're from somewhere in Washington. I want to say Olympia. Tacoma. Look at that. What a great cover, right? Like those guys. The singer kind of reminds me of, I don't know, somehow it reminds me a little bit of a Cleveland punk band. I want to say Neptune's Car or something, but like one of the lesser known ones, okay? That maybe made 145 or something. Anyway, it's a weird riff. Those lead fills, those are kind of nice. The kind of choppy riff is really kind of unusual, you know? And it's rocking. Yeah, Iraqi and Nightmares. Yeah, I mean, that band picture, man. I'm just going to show that again. Look at that. I mean, they kind of look like wieners, right? Yeah, it's a good fucking record, though. At least I dig it. I'm gonna let this run, though, see if we get to some of the other sort of glammier shit. Let's see where we end up. This is a Spanish one. This is Exodo. The New Babylon. First of all, look at how great that cover is. Has a little Bible quote on it, too. And I saw a woman riding a russet beast full of blasphemous names, and the beast had 7 heads and 10 horns. Revelation, and look. 7 heads and 10 horns. Oh, shit! And a little bit of nudity there, too. Here, I'll put that up for you. I would enjoy. You see that? Now look at these guys, man. Those guys are fucking rock solid. Look at that cat right there, man. Well, let me tell you something about this record. This is a Spanish band that puts most Spanish bands to shame, okay? They kill Obus, okay? And Baron Rojo, I really like Baron Rojo. so this is a little bit hard for me to say, but as far as like true metal, these guys beat them. Baron Rojo has like that sort of hard rocky, like sort of new wave British heavy metal sound, which is really enjoyable. But if I want to listen to some Spanish metal, I'd probably reach for this one over that shit. I really feel like I'm blaspheming, especially since I just got this one at a record show not all that long ago. Larga Vida all rock and roll. And this is really good, but you know. Dude, this is kind of kissy. See, it's a lot more glammy. Like, it's kind of got that Paul Stanley thing going on a little bit in how he's singing it. But yeah, I don't know, man. It just works for me. I just enjoy this. Maybe once I've listened to it like 10 or 15 times, like, you know, like those early Kiss records. I listen to more like 50 times. I'll get sick of it, but I don't know, man. This record just works for me. Alright, finally, I think this will be the last one because I'm at 21 minutes, but this is one I've been keeping an eye out for a while, and I finally got my hands on. It's a special low-price mini LP, and it's by Defender, City Ad Mortis, whatever the hell that means. I know what the words mean, but, you know. Anyway, this is a Dutch band, and I want to highlight these guys because this is fucking fantastic. And a lot of the Dutch records that I've heard kind of leave me cold a little bit. I've talked about this before, how like the Belgians and the Dutch, like there are more people in the Netherlands. It seems like all this shit's going in the Dutch's favor, but somehow they always seem to come up just a little bit short. They'll make a really good record, but I can't name a lot of great records from the Netherlands. Well, I think Defender's great. And the funny thing is, this is actually on CBS, this fucking record. I don't know what the hell happened with it, where they got it released on CBS, but somehow ended up not just obscure, but so obscure that, like, you know, you really got to dig and hunt to find this fucking thing. So, yeah, it's speedy, full-on metal. I mean, just great songs, man. It's fucking, you know, it's what you want. It's fast. It's, it sounds of its time in '87, but pushing the envelope, not hard, but a little bit. Like, moving forward, as opposed to, like, sort of following the trend, you know what I mean? That's just great stuff, man. In fact, I like it so much when I need to drop it for a second. Even though it's 22 minutes in. Because, fuck it. It's my video, right? Alright. So I think you got a cross-section of Hammerhead there anyway, man. You got them rocking and you got them glamming. And they're really pretty fucking good on both counts. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about in my next video, because there's like little stack of records here. I've just been playing over and over, so. Alright, here we go, man. City Ad Mortis. It's actually 45. Yeah, 5-track EP. That's all she wrote as far as I know. Of course, we got an intro, so I'll talk about another record. Yeah, this is a cool one, man. This is Avenger. And they're connected to some band. I want to say that, like, Rage turned into these guys. This is a Brazilian pressing, though, but it's an English band, I think. Maybe not, though, because it's licensed from Wishbone, which is a pretty German label, like clunker bullshit German label, frankly. Wishbone is not exactly still of quality. Look at these guys, though, man. Fucking look at that shit thing that he's wearing right there, man. It's like, I don't know if it's a belt or a girdle or what. That has a big fucking studded upside down cross on it. You know he's not fucking around. Now, this record isn't quite that heavy, but it's pretty heavy, man. It's fucking balls out metal. Sounds like what you want an album from 1984 to sound like, man, which is like Prayers of Steel. So, I wouldn't call it great, but I'd call it very good. This is Defender. Hear that? It's not like speed, but it's speedy. It has that gallop. Yeah, and that's about it, man. A lot of people probably talked about this one in the last video. I've been playing this. Fucking great, man. It's funny, I got more comments about this particular record than I usually do about a specific record. But y'all were right. And it's a great feeling to find a gem like that in your own stash, so. Alright, well there you go. I think you got the idea. If you want to hear more, it's on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Again, thanks for new subscribers, and yeah, I'll be more snotty and obnoxious again next time. No, I won't. I'm a nice guy. You know how it is. Take care. I'll see you soon.